Greg. We'll call this meeting to order.
Everyone, please rise. Oh yes, this county commission meeting of Sumner County is now open pursuant to adjournment. God bless this country and this honorable commission. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Weatherford. Let's bow our heads. Lord, we thank you for this evening and for this time together and for the beautiful ways that you have creation spring forth in front of us each spring. We pray for your hand to rest upon us tonight as we make decisions in the interest of Sumner County. We pray that your hand will guide us and your wisdom will lead us. Lord, as we celebrate so many that have come here tonight to be honored, our children, our students, our teachers, our principals, Lord, we thank you for the many people that have served in Sumner County, our first responders, our sheriff's deputies, all the many others that come before us and serve. Lord, those who are beginning their journeys of life and those who are beginning to enter the days of retirement, we pray for your blessings upon all of them as we move forward together. Bless us tonight. In your precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
You'll join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's check our roll.
Roll call is now open. Each commissioner, please record your presence. We have 21 members present.
Okay. We have 21 members present, and I will remind everyone that a majority right now is 12 votes.
Mr. Taylor, are you want to speak?
Okay. All right. All right, our roll has been called. You have your regular and consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve our regular and consent agenda? Motion made by Commissioner Foster. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Rhodes. Okay, I'm going to come to Mr. Mansfield in just a second. I would like to pull 2205-06, docketing Sumner County Board of Education amendments. We had a clerical error in the way it was put together and sent to budget. So we're going to pull that off and vote under the budget report. So 2205-06 will move from consent to underneath the budget. Mr. Mansfield.
I wanted to pull off, I got two things. On the consent agenda, pull off 2205-07 back under budget.
Okay.
Also had a point of information.
Hang on one second, Mr. Smith. Let me get that down. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a point of information this week, requested from our IT director an update on the video owls, on the status of those getting repaired, and also as mentioned in general ops, requesting the status, and the answer both in email and direct from the chairman to the chairman was that the county mayor has given a directive that all questions be given to him regarding the status. Emailed his office, did not get a response. So I'm requesting on behalf of citizens to know what the status is of the video device for our committees, where it's been broken for 5 months, both of them. So where are we in that process of getting those repaired?
Okay. Okay. Mr. Holt, did you want to respond to that?
Be glad to, Mr. Chairman.
Hang on one second. One second. There you go. Go ahead, Mr. Holt.
Thanks, sir. Be glad to. We shipped both of the owls off manufacturer for repairs. We haven't received them yet. All right?
Is there
Any
no
further questions?
Is there no timeline or estimate?
Well, you know, the way things have backed up, we've got a air conditioning unit for the courthouse we ordered months and months ago. We still don't have it in, so I don't know, Mr. Commissioner.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Mansfield. All right, our agenda has been, we've moved two items off the consent agenda, 2205-06 and 2205-07. Those will move to budget. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Your minutes are in your packet. Is there a motion to approve our minutes? Motion made by Commissioner Chris Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Shell. I see no one in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay, so I've got a no from Commissioner Mansfield, an abstention from Mr. Hyde. So by a vote of 19, 1-1, minutes pass. Yes, sir.
I was
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. So 18, 1, and 2. Okay, thank you. So 19, 1, and 2. Okay. Thank y'all. All right. Recognition of the public. Do we have anyone that signed up for public comments tonight?
Anyone wish to sign up that has not already?
You can come on up, Mr. Baker. All right, Mr. Baker, if you can state your name and address for the record, you'll have 5 minutes. Give us just 1 second, and we'll have the countdown clock up there at the top.
I'm watching it.
There you go.
All right. Kevin Bagert, 424 A.B. Wade Road, Portland, Tennessee. Mr. Chairman, I realize today that my opportunities for being called out of order or dragged out of the room in handcuffs are dwindling. So I have to make the most of all of my opportunities, so here we go. Mr. Chairman, my first concern tonight is with the official record of the April 18th County Commission meeting. In the now approved minutes, it states, Kevin Bagert of 424 A.B. Wade Road, Portland, spoke to Resolution 220408. Although that's factually true, there's nothing in the minutes that reflects what Mr. Bagert's perspective or concerns were. So going forward, nobody can look at that, and it's not about me. This is all about how citizens are perceived here in Sumner County, or at least by this body, Mr. Chairman. My grievance is not with the minute taker or the person that typed those minutes. My issue is that of the 24 county commissioners seated here, most never even thought twice about the citizens when they approved the minutes. So they don't really care whether it says Kevin Bagert talked about this or he had a concern about that. And in fact, the most transparent county commission in history is anything but transparent. I believe I can accurately conclude that the majority of the commissioners really don't care about what the average citizen thinks. That's my opinion. This will further be reinforced by the makeup of the Ethics Committee that you will all approve in a few minutes. How can a government ethics committee not include a member of the general public? Now, I'm sure we're going to be told that our rules don't allow that, or that the state of Tennessee doesn't allow that in its laws. Well then, Mr. Chairman, how come it doesn't reflect that in any minutes where it says that this body asked to change the rules or ask the state of Tennessee for a resolution to change that law so that the citizens have a voice? And I'm proud to see a bunch of citizens here tonight because it's all about you. But let me get down to the real issue why I wanted to talk tonight. I'll get off my soapbox for a few minutes and address a more poignant issue that's on a lot of citizens' minds. A lot of people have been emailing me recently. It's the approval of the utility easement across the county property over off of Hatton Track there. This approval, or the approval of the resolution, would further put your stamps of approval on the construction of 2,200 more houses on those 600 acres. Does this mean that you believe that the infrastructure needed to support 1,000 plus more houses and 2,000 plus more cars are in place or is in place? Because if not, this county commission and the county commissioners who vote for it are basically voting to saddle the citizens with another either tax increase to pay for another school campus, more road repairs, more significant congestion. So think about it. When you vote for that resolution, you're putting another stamp of approval on a resolution that says it's okay to build out that 600 acres with as many houses as we can fit. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. All right, we're going to do, that concludes our recognition of the public. Your veteran service report is in your packet. We're going to do our certificates of recognition. I'm going to, without objection, I'm going to jump around a little bit just to make sure that we don't, like if we have one commissioner doing 4, but it's 2nd, 3rd, 8th, and 9th, we're not going to, just go back and forth. I'm going to let, so those of you like Mr. Wright, so we're going to go Mr. Tinsley, and then we'll go Mr. Witt, and then we're going to go Mr. Wright, and then we'll go to Baker Ring. or Commissioner Ring, and I think that'll cut down on the motion and keep it from having to jockey back and forth. So, Ms. DeWitt, we're going to let you go first.
I have Coach Bartlett and the whole group from Station Camp join me up here. Yes, please, Officer Briggs. Hello, my friend. Pick a
Come on up,
any
Mr. Beck.
side. Come on, come over close to me. This nurse has been with my girls since elementary school as their school nurse, so I have lots of love for these people here. I'm surrounded by a phenomenal group from Station Camp High School, an exceptional group of heroes. We've heard a lot about them on the news in the last couple weeks, and so we just want to take a moment to recognize them. Of course, the star of the show, cross-country athlete Linton Beck. His story has just been something that none of us will ever forget, what happened. So if you don't know what happened, Linton experienced sudden cardiac arrest in Coach Bartlett's chemistry class. And it took 2 shocks with an AED machine to put him into a stable situation to get to the hospital. And 1 is scary, 2 is pretty unusual, and the fact that those devices were there is really part of what we want to celebrate. Station Camp High School, along with every single school in Sumner County, is recognized as a heart-safe school. It's a designation from the Monroe Carroll Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt to recognize schools that have done a few things, making sure that AEDs are available and accessible, that there's a written plan for how to access those, and the CPR and AED trained staff, and then conducting surprise emergency practice response drills within the school. There's only 326 schools in all of Tennessee that have that designation, and every single one of Sumner County schools is part of that 326. So we have protocols, we have people who know them and study them. Coach Bartlett, I'll mention his name just one more time. He's also gone on to get the school emergency training. It takes a lot of outside training, and to be designated as one of our emergency response folks in the building. So I am surrounded today by Nurse Amanda Welty. High school teacher Kristen Eyre and Andrea Gowan are not here. Coach Jeremy and teacher Jeremy Bartlett. Officer Thomas Briggs, our school resource officer, and then of course Linton and his mom and dad, Regina and Stephen. I know that we're going to hear from just a second, but the proclamation, as it's being recorded, does hereby honor and congratulate these amazing folks for their life-saving efforts in a medical emergency. And with that, I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner DeWitt, seconded by Commissioner Ring. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I think Stephen's dad was going to say just a word on behalf of this group tonight. Stephen's dad, Linton's dad, Stephen. You know what I
Just want to say, as a parent, you never expect to get that call. Coach Bartlett called and said, you need to get over here quickly, something's happened with your son. You can't plan for that, and without going through the whole story, again, what I found and what we experienced is that Sumner County Schools had a plan in place, and that plan went from the top to the bottom. Coach Bartlett knew what to do. The students knew what to do. The students at Station Camp School knew who was on the SET team, the school emergency response team, so they knew who to go to. In less than 2 minutes, there was a Nurse Welty was there doing CPR, critically getting his heart to continue to pump blood, even though he was legally dead. An officer, or Deputy Briggs, ran very, very fast. It would have been good if they had to time that for whatever metrics they do with the office. Ran to get the AED. 2 students were also sent to get AEDs. There were AEDs located in the school in places where they could be back in 2 minutes. Those things don't happen by accident. Those things happen because our county was prepared, and because our county was prepared, because the teachers and staff responded the way they did, my son is alive today, and I want to thank everyone who's responsible for putting that plan in place. Thank you.
We'll join them. Thank you again. Thank you.
Yes, and on behalf of the commission, just again, thank you to everyone involved. I don't know. And Mr. Beck, did you get that Krispy Kreme donut? That was probably the. I did. You did. Good. Good. Good.
Okay, could Caleb Coley please join me up here? Allie, come on up too. I'm so sorry. Come on and join us up here. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Come on, Mom. Oh, I know. I didn't say it at first. It was my bad. I know we're trying to move these along, but we got to take our time. I have a stellar senior at Hendersonville High School here today to celebrate. We're celebrating both a spectacular senior year and earning the coveted Eagle Scout. Caleb has just an incredibly impressive resume full of accolades, honors, accomplishments. As part of Boy Scouts of America, I think you all know the work that they do to create challenges and build a sense of determination and develop character development skills. So that Eagle Court of Honor ceremony was back in April. April 3rd of 2022 is when Caleb was inducted into the Court of Honor. We had him recently here with the Hendersonville High School Marine Corps JROTC program. So if you don't remember that offhand, they recently were recognized for being the National Rope Bridge Competition, which is an incredibly cool sport. You should Google it or look it up on YouTube and see what a rope bridge looks like competition. So their team was here. He is the company executive officer for JROTC, has won a lot of awards with them, and is also going to be studying mechanical engineering at Tennessee Technical University starting in the fall. Caleb, we're so impressed with everything you've done. We're happy to be here to recognize you tonight. This proclamation honors you and recognizing you for your prestigious rank of Eagle Scout and a stellar senior year. Congratulations. Thank you. Oh, and I so moved.
Motion made by Commissioner DeWitt. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Becker. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Congrats. Would you like to say anything? Okay, thank you. Have a great year. Appreciate it. Here you go.
Okay. All right, Mr. Tinsley.
Jaden, if you and your family want to come on up here. Tonight I'm honoring somebody I've known since he was in 7th grade, and his kind of at a greater extent his family. Jaden represents some of the very best Sumner County has to offer in its students. Everything he's ever attempted in his life, he's excelled at through hard work and dedication. He's incredibly intelligent, and I'm proud to have been a part of his life over the last several years. He's going to UT this fall. He is on a pre-med path, so he'll probably be taking care of all of us when we're all senior citizens. So I want to go ahead and do the proclamation. The Sumner County Board of County Commissioners meeting in the regular session on the 16th day of May, 2022, does hereby honor and congratulate Jaden Heath on his many achievements at Hendersonville High School. I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Tinsley, seconded by Commissioner Becker. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Luke, you want to come up here? Congratulations.
All right, thank y'all so much. All right, Mr. Wright.
Good evening, folks. I want to honor a young lady that I have personally worked with for several years. We used to affectionately call her Car 1.5. It's a certificate of recognition, which is nowhere near enough for the years that have been dedicated to this county. A resolution honoring Tammy Weatherford. Whereas Tammy Weatherford retired on May 5th, 2022, after serving Sumner County for 24 years with pride and dedication. Whereas Tammy Weatherford began her career with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office in September of 1998 in dispatch. Whereas Tammy Weatherford has pursued her calling where the need was most important, and in November of 2006, she transferred to the Training Division, where she managed all of Sumner County Sheriff's Office training files as well as post requirements. August of 2011, the Animal Control Division was getting on its feet. It was taken over by the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Bob Barker at the time. The county had it, and the Sheriff's Office took control of it. But she helped get the Animal Control Division on its feet. Tammy Weatherford was tasked to help the division get off the ground, which she excelled in because of her true love for animals and their proper treatment. Whereas in February of 2019, Tammy Weatherford transferred to become payroll, HR, civil service liaison, sorry about that, and oversaw the implementation of the county's payroll software. And whereas Tammy Weatherford's personnel file is filled with commendations stemming from her work with the Animal Control Division, her enthusiasm, and go-get-it attitude. And she has served the Sumner County Sheriff's Office well. Now therefore be it resolved by the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners, meeting in regular session on this, the 16th day of May 22, that this body hereby wishes Tammy Weatherford the best in her retirement and extends its appreciation and gratitude for a job well done with dedication, commitment, and hard work. Be it further resolved that this resolution is to be spread on the minutes of this body, and the clerk is to furnish a copy of this resolution to Tammy Weatherford. And I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright, seconded by Commissioner Guthrie. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Before Tammy comes up here, I've had the privilege of working with her through EMS, emergency services, budget, and different things. And I can say for especially the budget committee and fiscal, I'm okay getting a call from Sonny. I don't really enjoy those calls from Tammy because when Tammy calls, you're going to have to take care of some things. So I just want to say how much her service goes well beyond anything we could describe. And I think what's understated is the fact that we just assume she's one of the administrative staff, but she's somebody that was 7 days a week, 24/7. She cared about every deputy that was on the department, every jailer. She was the one that when it came time about pay, I was getting the earful for not doing the right thing. So I just want to say on a personal note how much Tammy has meant to our county and the service for our sheriff's department. So thank you so much, ma'am. You don't get away. Yeah.
Let me say this. I've known Tammy and I've known Sonny a long time, but behind every great man is a greater woman. And as James Brown would say, it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without Tammy Weatherford.
They're painting such a pretty picture of me.
That's right.
Oh. It's been surreal. I didn't realize how much that I would miss my work family, and they are my family. I have spent more time with the sheriff's office than I did my own children growing up. Because my one thing was, Blanche, I can work midnights, I can work days, I can't work seconds. At the time, I was a single mother of 2. What did she do? She put me on second shift. Some days I got off at 7 and went back in at 3. So, but I wouldn't change a minute of it. That's where I met my wonderful husband. He, the whole sheriff's office changed my life, but he stepped in and took on a role that a lot of men wouldn't. Took on myself and an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old little boy. And he was the dad he didn't have to be. And I thank you for that. Thank you all.
Is Mike here? Son, is Mike here? The gentleman I'm fixing to speak of is not present tonight. His name is Detective Michael McLaren. A resolution honoring Detective Michael McLaren, whereas Detective Michael McLaren retired on April 30th, 2022, after serving Sumner County with dedication and diligence for 31 years. And whereas Detective Michael McLaren began his career in the Sumner County Jail in April of 1991, soon becoming a supervisor and then transferred to the Criminal Warrants Division, where he later graduated from the Tennessee Law Enforcement Training Academy in 1998. Whereas Detective Michael McLaren, in years to follow, worked in the Patrol Division, served as a hostage negotiator, field training officer, became an investigator with the 18th Judicial District Drug Task Force. Eventually, he was appointed to the Drug Enforcement Administration as a task force officer, was one of the first supervisors over the new Sumner County Sheriff's Office Animal Control Division, where he served as a sergeant. Then back into investigations. In 2010, he is transferred to the Criminal Investigation Division as a detective. And whereas Detective Michael McLaren has served Sumner County eagerly and diligently to help solve homicides, rapes, burglaries, and other crimes, providing excellent leadership and guidance, and it is with appropriate that we commend him for his unwavering dedication and hard work to keep our county safe. Now therefore be it resolved by the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners meeting in regular session on this, the 16th day of May 2020. This body hereby commends and thanks Detective Michael McLaren with gratitude for his commitment to the citizens of Sumner County and wishes him the best in his retirement as he spends more time with his family and to pursue hunting. Be it further resolved, this resolution be spread on the minutes of this body, and the clerk is to furnish a copy of this resolution to Detective Michael McLaren. I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Guthrie. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next two that I have, these first two were very difficult, but these next two are going to be heart-wrenching. I have had the pleasure and honor of working with some of the best educators, not just in this state, but as far as I'm concerned, not just in this county, but as far as I'm concerned, in this state. Two of those, this county is losing. They are retiring. See if I can get through this. The Sumner County Board of County Commissioners meeting in regular session on this, the 16th day of May 2022, does hereby honor and commend Ms. Frances Gillespie on her retirement from North Sumner Elementary School. Ms. Frances has been at North Sumner every day of her 42 years with the Sumner County education system. Folks, if that is not awesome, I don't know what is. She was actually, my sister is 46. Miss Frances was her kindergarten teacher. My oldest niece graduated from Western Kentucky last Friday. Miss Frances was her kindergarten teacher. And my youngest niece, this is her first year in Western. And guess who was her kindergarten teacher at North Sumner Elementary? Thank you, Lord, for people like these two. I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright, seconded by Commissioner Kruger. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Ms. Frances, would you come on up with your family? Ms. Gillespie, would you like to say anything?
I would just like to say that it has been my privilege and honor to work at Sumner County Schools. I've enjoyed every day of my 42 years, and I would keep on, except I have a new project now, a grandchild. And so I'm going to start teaching him a little earlier. But thank you so much for this honor.
Ms. Gillespie, on behalf of the commission, just thank you so much for your service. You know, thousands of lives in the northern part of the county have been touched by your work, and you have welcomed the youngest children into our school system and done a tremendous job of setting them on the path to success. So thank you for all that you've done. We appreciate it.
Sorry it's taking so long, folks. This next one, Mr. Hernan, if you'd come on up, please. This gentleman has not only been a principal that I've worked with for almost 5 years, but he has become a friend. And that goes a long ways in my book, folks. He has taught, been in the Sumner County education, 48 years?
48 years.
48 years.
13 as a student, 61.
61 total, 13 as a student. 32 of those years was spent at North Sumner Elementary as principal of my school. There is no thanks, again, that we can give these folks for their dedication, every one of them, to this county. Sumner County Board of County Commissioners meeting in regular session on this, the 16th day of May 2022, does hereby honor and commend Mr. Terry Herndon on his retirement from North Sumner Elementary School. I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Hyde. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Dr. Phillips.
Y'all ready for about a 20-minute speech here? I want to thank Deputy Wright for bringing us down to recognize us. It's very flattering that you get recognized by anyone, but it's been a wonderful 48 years. It really has. Some days, not every day was a banquet, and every day was not a holiday, and every meal wasn't a banquet, but we had a lot more banquets and holidays over the last 48 years, and especially 32 years at North Sumner Elementary School. Mr. Hyde, thank you. My friend, thank you. I'm very honored. Thank you very much.
I so move.
We already did that.
I'm sorry. You can tell I'm getting old.
I'm going to put this on. I never got many of these, so there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Mr. Herndon, congratulations on just a wonderful career and all the wonderful things you've done. Just like Ms. Gillespie, you can't count the number of kids whose lives have been touched by your service and your work, and a huge part of our community. So thank you so much. Yes, sir. All right, Commissioner Ring.
Could any of the teachers or administrators who were honored at the Teacher of the Year ceremony, if they are here, please come forward? It's a very busy time of the year for teachers and administrators, so I know one who's got a softball game or baseball game tonight, and you are. Check my videos. Well, I'll go ahead and we'll group and approve these if that's what you want to do. Sumner County Board of County Commissioners meeting in regular session on this day, 16th of April, May 2022, does hereby congratulate these teachers for winning their Teacher of the Year and other other awards. I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Ring. Is there a second? Commissioner Kruger with the second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
And the one who's here, as I said, it's a busy season of the year, is Mr. Chad Murphy, who is the high school level Sumner County Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
Chad, don't get.
And I will see that the rest of them get this. Thank you.
Hey, Chad, stay 1 second. Just want to let y'all know, Chad teaches at Beach High School. Beyond just his work in the classroom is exceptional. If you ever get to see him teach, he does a tremendous job. He's the teacher that the kids love to be in his classroom, that they come back to see and talk to. He's finishing up his doctorate. He's managing a whole bunch of different projects and things like that, because he doesn't just teach English. You do journalism. Yeah. There's not a lot of journalism left in schools or really across the country anymore, and he has done a tremendous job of bringing that back to Beach High School, and really every day works hard to serve the kids of Beach High School, and is really a credit to our county. So thank you, Chad, and congratulations on Teacher of the Year.
Congratulations. And I wanted to read the rest of them so they can be written in the record and everybody knows who they are. Ms. Linda Lanchek received the Dr. Jennifer V. Brown Instructional Coaching Award. Ms. Lisa Herron was Sumner County Supervisor of the Year. She's the supervisor for the nurses, I believe. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And I will tell you that the nurses have had a rough time the last couple of years, so she greatly deserves that. Dr. Sabrina McLard, Sumner County Principal of the Year.
She's at J.W. Wiseman.
Okay. Ms. Tricia Mabry is elementary level Sumner County Teacher of the Year. Mr. Dan Johnson is an ELL teacher at Knox Doss at Drakes Creek, I believe. And he's middle school level Sumner County Teacher of the Year. And last but not least, I was really wishing he would be here, but his son's got a baseball game. Jason Pretsch is the Sumner County Assistant Principal of the Year. This is the first year that we've had a Assistant Principal of the Year recognition, and touching on what was said earlier about what happened at Station Camp, before we had IEDs in the schools, Mr. Fretch did the same type of thing. He saved one of his cross-country boys who had medical issues, and he performed CPR until the ambulance could get there. So he's got a long history of deserving recognition. So thank you for letting me recognize these fine folks.
Thank you, Mr. Ring. All right, 2205-01, docketing Highway Public Works Fund Analysis. Is there a motion to approve? Motion made by Commissioner Chris Taylor. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Kruger. I see no one in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, we have your financial statement memo is attached. We have approval of consent agenda items. Remember that we pulled 2205-06 and 2205-07 off, moved it back to the regular agenda. All other things are on the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve our consent agenda? Motion made by Commissioner Sullivan, second by Commissioner Gomendon. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, I see Commissioner Mansfield is a no. Any other no's? Okay, by a margin of 21-1, the motion passes. Okay, written reports by county officials were in your packet. We're now to notaries. Is there a motion to approve our notaries? Motion made by Commissioner Hinton. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Mansfield. Let's vote.
Notary applications are on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. $21 votes are entered. Anyone not voting wish to vote? Anyone wish to change your vote? Receives 22 affirmative votes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Kemp. All right. Committee on Committees. Mr. Good. Yeah, you're good. Just taking just a second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee of Committees met at its regular scheduled meeting tonight at 6:30, May 16, 2022. The Music City Executive Airport Authority, Curtis Rogers' term expired July 2025. The county mayor recommended Steve Alvarez. It was unanimous. I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Good. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Chris Taylor. See no one in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Okay. Mr. Mansfield opposing. So by a vote of 21-1, motion passes. Mr. Good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Equalization Board, 2-year term, Radford Garrett resigned, and Oliver Berry and Troy Smith was recommendation of reappointments from the county mayor. It was unanimous, and I so move.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Good, seconded by Commissioner Rhodes. I see no one in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Okay. So Mr. Mansfield is a no. Motion passes 21-1. Mr. Good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It was we had to reappoint the Ethics Committee tonight, and it was a recommendation from the county mayor that Commissioners Caroline Kruger, Larry Hinton, and Scott Langford from Commission, Constitutional County Officer Catherine Strong, and a member from the County Board Committee was James Robertson Ramsey for that committee. It was unanimous, and I so move.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Good. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Kruger. Mr. Mansfield.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess, why are we nominating an ethics committee three months before we're seating a new commission? Just kind of, since we haven't had the last one since 2018 that was nominated.
Yeah,
what's the?
It's been an ad hoc committee, basically, when we haven't had a complaint until recently, last few weeks.
So that's about the complaint from the violations during the elections?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Is that going to be met on, I guess, soon, or?
Yes. Mm-hmm. When we get the committee, we'll set a meeting. That will be done quickly. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, no one else in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Okay. Okay, I have Mr. Hyde and Mr. Mansfield as no's. That makes the margin 20-2. The motion passes. All right, Mr. Sullivan, Education, or I'm sorry, Mr. Good, did you have anything else for
just the announcement that you see next month's Tourism Board, and that's it, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Good. Mr. Sullivan, Education.
Mr. Chair, since I was out sick, I'll defer over to Vice Chair Alan Driver.
Okay. No report, okay. Emergency Services, Mr. Driver.
No report.
Okay. General Ops, Michelle.
No report, sir.
Okay. Highway, Mr. Hinton.
Some paperwork and sent it on to the Budget Committee, that year-ending paperwork, not passed the committee, so.
Okay.
No report other than that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hinton. Legislative, Mr. Ring.
Thank you, sir. Resolution 2205-02, ratifying private Chapter 49 of the Private Acts of 2022 and Senate of the 112th General Assembly, rescinding and repealing the Private Acts of 1953, Chapter 30, which designates the process for the creation of private cemeteries in Sumner County, and instead placing such responsibilities with the Board of Zoning Appeals, Planning Commission, and existing state law, and I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Ring. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Sullivan. He jumped right in there on the cemeteries. Mr. Mansfield.
Can you please explain to me exactly what is this?
All right, let me take a stab at it. Mr. Ring, jump in here, or somebody, Ms. Long, or Ms. Dennett. Basically, in the 1950s, there was a private act that created the rules for who can have a cemetery, or private cemetery. So these are not big commercial cemeteries. This is if you own land and you want a family cemetery. To be able to do that, there were about 35 different agencies that you had to coordinate with. This streamlines that process. So if someone does have a farm and they wish to have a private family cemetery, they have one person, one governmental organization that they can reach out to start the process of having a family cemetery. Go ahead.
It also brings it to planning. In the past, you could go through all this effort and come to the county commission to get a private cemetery and then find out that you weren't zoned for that. This way, it kind of starts at the planning commission, and planning will tell you what's the appropriate course to take.
So if it goes to, it says the Planning Commission and the Board of Zoning and Appeals, I think, as well. So would that come before the commission still? Like what happens now if someone's a private citizen?
Yeah.
Does it come straight to the commission and bypasses those?
No, I think part of the issue, Mr. Mansfield, is that someone, people don't plan for things like deaths and wanting a private cemetery until there's a death. And I think part of the process is that when you started that, you had to go through like the state and the different parts of the county, and then you had to come to the commission. This lays out a very simple, straightforward process. You have to go through planning, BZA, then to the full commission. So there wouldn't be.
And actually, it's BZA depending on how you're zoned, or planning commission depending on how you're zoned.
But it still comes before the full commission?
Yeah.
As far as retaining it?
My understanding is that the whole idea was to give people that wanted to have a small private family cemetery, a way to do it without the frustrations of the state bureaucracy to try to get that done locally.
Well, or even the local bureaucracy.
Or even local bureaucracy.
That was
Just to make a process that citizens could understand quickly.
it would take 6 to 8 months before you could get it done.
Mr. Chairman Langford, if I may add, we voted for this several months ago. It got approved by the state legislature. We're just having to approve it again.
It required a private act.
An amendment.
Amendment to the private act. And if you want the real politics of it, in the 1950s, the legislatures were controlled by funeral home directors, and they wanted to make it very hard for anybody to compete. So this is a way to give a little bit of a authority back to, family members that want a private cemetery.
Okay, just making sure the commission still has a part of that process.
Yes, sure.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. This is one of our more interesting votes ever, I think. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Mr. Ring, do you have anything else for legislative?
No, thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Becker, Financial Management. Okay. All right, Budget, Mr. Taylor.
Sir, it's going to be, was it 220506, which we pulled? It's docketing Sumner County Board of Education School Fund budget amendments in the fiscal year 2021-2022. This should have been just included on our agenda. It's been approved by the Budget Committee. I so move.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Goode. I see no one in the queue. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay, I have Commissioner Mansfield. Did I hear another no? Mr. Wright? Okay. All right, so by a vote of 20-2, the motion passes. All right, Commissioner Taylor.
Yes, sir. 2205-07, approving public utility and drainage easements for Gallatin. I so move.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gomendon. Mr. Mansfield.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I was reading through this and kind of figuring out what it is, and, it might just seem like a small utility easement. Might seem like a small little stone thrown into a pond and create a small ripple effect, but in my opinion, it's like dropping a boulder in a kiddie pool with significant damage. I don't see this tonight, in my opinion, about approving utility easement because it seems to be rubber stamping a massive 2,200 high-density residential development in Gallatin that's going to have a negative impact on local resources such as schools, sheriff, EMS, courts, jails, by increasing the population. I was shocked to find that Gallatin currently has on the books over 10,000 high-density residential units, either to be developed or in construction. And that just is a staggering amount and number to me on the things that we approve. It's kind of like the Meadows last year when they did an interlocal agreement. It wasn't just about an interlocal agreement. By doing that vote, it allowed them to move forward with almost 1,200 homes for development in an area that can sustain. The citizens didn't want it. And this right here is just shocking to me. And Commissioner Mo Taylor said last year during a meeting dealing with growth, that Gallatin's killing us on growth, just absolutely killing us. And I agree with him in that. And that's his opinion. That's my opinion. I've talked to commissioners and citizens that we don't have managed growth. We have unmanaged growth. And this, just approving this to me is rubber stamping what I consider unmanaged growth because, to quote Mo Taylor, we're giving away the farm, literally. I know this is the old Bowles farm. It's 655 acres. The only thing that I saw that was a positive from it is the commercial development here. We definitely need a lot more commercial development in Sumner County. Commercial and industrial, even agricultural, is a positive to the tax base. Residential, if you look at a cost of community services survey throughout the nation, residential is always a negative fiscal drain on budgets. They're not a positive. And so anything we can do to offset that with commercial taxes, industrial taxes, agricultural taxes is great. So I do like that portion, but I know this is a mixed use development. Anything that's mixed use, commercial, if it's got a residential component, we just don't, retail component, that's not the kind of commercial we need. We think in commercial, we definitely need more jobs, when it comes to banking and technology and IT or healthcare type of corporate offices, kind of like Brentwood's done with Maryland Farms. Something like that would have been a nice opportunity back in the day between Hendersonville and Gallatin, but I think there was an opportunity missed, and now it's apartments and houses and kind of an in-between lane where that could have been really good. I just have a problem with this, that we're approving something that's going to let Gallatin build another 2,200 high-density residential homes when there's already over 10,000 on the books. And I can't approve this because, residents are always complaining how we're going to pay for this growth. And as you guys know, we don't have a mechanism in place right now for impact fees for school, which is our number one problem with this type of development and this type of infrastructure. So, not continually raising property taxes to pay for growth isn't the kind of growth we want. I've said it before, growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of the cancer cell. Just because it's growing doesn't mean it's good. Just because rapid growth is not necessarily the best thing. And I just see uncontrolled, unmanaged rapid growth in Gallatin it's hurting us on the county level. And Mayor Clary said recently that we need to prepare for lean times at his State of the City address, and I agree with him on that, with the inflation that we're experiencing. I don't see how what they're doing is sustainable, and I'm afraid there's going to be a pretty big correction that's not going to be pretty here in a little while. So that's all I got to say about that, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to make my opposition known on this, that I don't think we should be voting to give Gallatin any kind of approval to build more residential units.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mansfield. Mr. Graves.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just wondering if there's a need already for this 20-inch water line. Is there?
Yeah, hang on. Let me go to Ms. Denon and then let her respond to you.
Okay.
The deed that they have asked for us to sign is attached. It sets out the means and bounds description of it and a picture of it as well.
What is you might not know, but what is the existing water line already for this area?
That I have no idea.
We were approving something that, we're just approving the easement, I understand that. But what is that water line going to be used for?
City of Gallatin sent it before.
What, I mean, they did not tell us when they sent this to us?
My understanding that when it was sent to my office was that it was for development in the area. From time to time, they seek for us to allow easements on our property, just like we've asked them for easements on their property from time to time.
Let me jump to the county mayor. He's in the queue, and he may be able to answer that question. Mr. Holt?
Are you finished, Mr. Graves? I'll yield to you if you're not finished.
I just want the explanation. Is that what you're going to?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yes, sir.
You can get back in the queue, Mr. Graves, if you have anything else.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to respond. I don't know that we're in the business of promoting growth in Gallatin, but what this does, they're going to run this sewer line. This is the direct way to wherever they want to run it, but it does benefit the county. I talked to our road superintendent, and this goes through county property that we already have a highway garage building on, and it's currently on a septic system. Of course, some of that land has to be set aside when it's on a septic system because you've got to not only have the septic tank, but you've got to have fill line. So by running this sewer directly through the property, and it's a low place, it's basically a wet weather stream, that gives us the ability to use the rest of the property. And so I really think one commissioner questioned whether we're trying to promote development. That's not what this is about. Because in the end, if we don't gift them, the city, this easement, they can run it through a different direction, which would be probably more expensive, but then, in turn, we wouldn't have access to sanitary sewer on our piece of property, and therefore we couldn't utilize a lot of it because some of it has to be set aside for a septic system. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Holt. Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Chairman, I may end up at one point voting for this, but at this point, one of the things that I hear from people more than anything in the county that they're disturbed about is what they perceive as unmanageable growth. And to a certain extent, I think they're correct with that, whether it be Gallatin, Hendersonville, or wherever. But as I say, it's not a matter of a decision for me right now. If I have to make a decision, it'd be no now. But I would like to see us, as a county commission, put off as much as possible things that cause a major impact for this county, or potential for a major impact such as this, for a couple of 3 months. We, after all, whether we like to think it or not, we're in a lame duck situation. And I don't think that we ought to be making decisions that we can put off for 2 or 3 months, and that are of a major proportion as this. So that's all I would say, is I think that our decision process and our decision making ought to be with that in mind, that if it can wait and let the new commission deal with it, it would be far better than us doing it in the last couple of months of our tenure.
Are you making a motion on that, Mr. Hyde, or?
Am I making a motion?
To refer or defer?
I would, yes.
Okay. Do you want to be able to debate the motion, Mr. Hyde?
That we delay this for consideration for the new body of commissioners.
Okay. Which one's the majority?
No debate.
No debate? Refer. Okay. No debate is refer, requires 16 votes. Even though we are currently, our number's at 23 sitting commissioners, it's still, it's 12 for a majority, 16 still for the 2/3 majority. So a yes vote is to refer, a no vote is to continue debating on the motion. So we can vote.
Can I ask a question before we defer?
No, sir, we can't debate.
I'm not going to debate. I'm going to ask a question.
Okay, quickly, Mr. Hinton.
Is somebody gonna find out any answers if we refer, are we gonna come back in 2 months and have the same conversation?
Probably so.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Motion to refer is on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. $22 votes entered. Anyone not voting wish to vote? Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion to refer fails to carry, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. There's no one else in the queue. We can now vote on the main motion. A yes vote is to approve the easement. Hang on, Ms. Kruger's in. Let me state it, and I'm going to go to Ms. Kruger before we vote. A yes vote would be to approve the easement. A no vote is to reject Gallatin's request for the easement. Ms. Kruger.
A couple of things. I just want to comment on what we just did. We still have months left to serve on this term, and we're elected to serve this term, and I just want to make sure everybody remembers that. Goodness knows when I was elected in 2014, I walked into a whole lot of things that had been voted on in the past that I didn't love, but they were passed by a previous commission that was in office and serving their time. So we had to honor those things.
Okay. All right.
So I remember that, but I also want to say that city government has their own thing, and for us to say something, we don't want to agree with something because we don't like what the city is doing, that's not our place. Our place is county, and it's their place to pass what they do in the city.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Kruger. Mr. Becker, and then Mr. Graves. Mr. Becker.
Yeah, just a question on the procedural standpoint. So if we voted this down tonight, what would Gallatin do? I think if I heard the mayor correctly, they've got an alternate path that they'll. Is that true or?
I don't know. They didn't discuss their plans with me.
Okay. We'll go to the county mayor.
Commissioner, I have to rely on what the city relayed to me, and this is the shortest path, and they requested this because this would be most cost-effective. But there's other ways they can run this line. It would just take it a longer route, which would be more expensive. It's what was conveyed.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Commissioner Foster.
Call the question, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Is there a second?
Is there anybody else in the queue?
Yes, we have two people in the queue.
Yes, sir.
And they've both spoken, yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
when I in the queue before that,
You had already spoken, Mr. Graves. Mr. Foster had not.
but I was in the queue.
Yes, but we've always had a practice of calling on people who have not spoken yet. We've been pretty consistent. Yes, sir. I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, let me do that because I did tell Mr. Graves he'd be up next. Let's do it. Mr. Graves, go ahead.
I just got I don't see the need short term for this right now. We could wait 3 or 4 months. That's just my thinking. In Castay and Bethpage, we have a real need up there. In Portland and Westmoreland, not speaking for them, but we got that real need up there to get those pressure up as soon as we can. So this could wait, my opinion, it could wait for 3 to 6 months. It wouldn't make a whole lot of difference. And they got a way probably to go ahead and do it, the city of Gallatin. But anyway, I just believe we could wait on this a few months for the new commission to decide on it too, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Graves. Back to Mr. Foster. He called the question. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Chris Taylor. There is no debating that motion, so yes vote is to end debate, requires 16 votes. A no vote is to continue debate.
The vote on the questions on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. With 13 affirmative votes, motion fails to carry.
Okay, Mr. Ring.
As a taxpayer for the city of Gallatin, I will support this because I don't want them to have, city of Gallatin have to spend more money to go a different route. This is going to be built anyway. This, if we vote no on this, it's not going to stop this subdivision and these commercial developments from being built. So, as I said, as a taxpayer for the city of Gallatin, I will vote for this. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mansfield? Thank you, Mr. Ring.
You know, I've heard it said a lot that we work well with cities. In my opinion, we don't. That's my opinion, because when the cities don't consult us on these types of developments, and when we're left, citizens and the taxpayers are left holding the bag for overgrowth and unmanaged growth, as the senior commissioner mentioned, it's absolutely our business and our responsibility to provide opinion, insight, oversight, suggestions when it negatively affects the county budgets based on the decisions the cities are making with this high-density development, such as what Gallatin's doing. So I respectfully disagree with anybody who has an alternate opinion from the floor, but it's absolutely relative what we do and what we say as it pertains to growth in the cities. It's our job to lean on them and say, listen, what you're doing is going to cause a ripple effect or a crash into the pool and do damage and cause irreversible damage to people's budgets, their lives. And this is serious stuff. It's just not flippant. And so I think we need to take these things seriously. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mansfield. Mr. Hinton?
It seems like we're getting a little bit convoluted. We're talking about sewer and we're talking about water. This is sewer. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
right?
Sewer.
This is not water supply for a new subdivision. This is sewer.
Yes, sir. It's an easement.
And and Gallatin will figure out how to do this. There ain't no question about that. They're not going to shut down the subdivision because they don't have any way to process sewer. They'll figure out how to do that. So we're not going to stop Gallatin from this development. We're not going to do that. Now, we can be a nuisance if we want to. We can put them off 2 or 3 months if we want to. But if they're going to put a subdivision out there, there'll be a subdivision, and there'll be a sewer line going out there. Now, the advantage that I'm hearing discussed tonight is the fact that it's going to run across our property where we're now on a septic tank, and we can hook into that. And when all's said and done, the sewer will be there. Gallatin will build what they're going to build, and we've got off of a septic tank and got onto a sewer line. That sounds to me like the ultimate end of it all. The end result is not going to change. Whatever we do here tonight, they're going to have a sewer line to go to this new subdivision. So I believe I'll vote to let them do that, because they're going to do it anyway.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hinton. Mr. Rhodes?
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to say, we've heard the word opinion used a lot tonight, and you know what they say about opinions. But everybody seems to think if somebody's going to build a development, there's going to be 2,200 houses built tomorrow. How long has it taken Somerset Downs to get to phase 7? So with that being said, I'm going to approve this.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. Mr. Graves?
I don't understand where the sewer is. It says a new 20-inch water line. It's
a utility easement, Mr. Graves.
I understand,
Yeah.
but it's got a new 20-inch water line on there also. What's that for? It's a utility. They could put either one of them, I guess, both of them.
That's correct.
I'm just a little confused.
Yeah. Well, they've told us it's a sewer, but it is a utility easement. Mr. County Mayor, do you know anything about it? Just to clarify.
It may have been the way the easement was written, Mr. Chairman, where they could put either one, but it's for a sewer line.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay. All right, there's no one else in the queue. A yes vote is to approve the easement for the city of Gallatin. A no vote is to reject the easement. Let's vote.
Resolution's on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. $22 votes are entered. All 23 votes are entered. Does anyone wish to change your vote? With 17 affirmative votes, it is approved.
All right, before we adjourn, I had 2 commissioners that requested to speak. Ms. Kruger.
Word of thanks to many of the people in this room. I just spent about a week in Texas with my daughter. Most of you that are here serving with me and know that the impetus for me starting to come to every committee meeting and every commission meeting about 12 years ago was Mary Allen, my daughter, who just graduated from Texas State. And in our discussions, we had a lot of time together. In our discussions, she was very clear to me that a lot of her drive for her success came from knowing that the people here were doing the best that they could and making some really tough decisions to make education more important and better in Sumner County. And she felt like in honoring that, she needed to go to college. When she went to college, she needed to do the very best she could to represent the decisions that we've made and the things that we've done well. I'm getting teary-eyed, sorry. That being said, doing the best she could, she started a 5-year program where they don't allow minors. She ended up the first year, they let her have a minor. After the end of the first year, she ended up the second year doing a paid internship at NASA for 2 years. She graduated in that 5-year program with the minor in 4 years with a 4.0. So I think she honored us well, and I'm very proud of her, and I want to thank you all for being part of the motivation for her success.
Thank you, Ms. Kruger. And Commissioner Ring.
Thank you, sir. On your tables, you have a travel guide, Sumner County, Tennessee. Just recently came out. Actually, it was ready a couple of months ago. However, Nashville put out their guide with the same picture we were going to use on ours. So I had to do some reshuffling, but this has been taken to all the welcome centers, and this was put out by the Sumner County Tourism Board, as well with Barry Young and his staff. They do a wonderful job. They're bringing in lots of money to Sumner County, and we are the 7th largest tourist destination in Sumner County, in the state. So, and a lot of that has to do with the work most of it has to do with the work that they do. So, just enjoy this. Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We stand adjourned.